This video is brought to you by John Robson Guitar Tuition. If you enjoy the content, please consider supporting the channel by enrolling on a course, purchasing some guitar lessons or a t-shirt, or you can join my Patreon. Now, on with the show. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. Today's video is the one that I postponed from last week when I was looking at the Gretsch Bobtail Resonator guitar. The video that was supposed to be in that slot last week was this one, a bit of a look at Dreadnought style guitars. As you know, I've been doing like a series of videos looking at what options are available if you're in the market for a particular style of instrument, and this week, as I say, we're looking at Dreadnought style guitars, acoustics basically, from the lowliest, cheapest, most humble Harley Benton. Bit of a giveaway there, but you know, hardly a spoiler really, is it, that there's one of those in the lineup, all the way up to the most eye-wateringly expensive heirloom wallet-busting pieces. So without further ado, here is the lineup of guitars we're looking at today. Okay, kicking us off, we have the Harley Benton D-120 CENT. As I said in the review of this guitar I did many years ago, it fair trips off the tongue, doesn't it? What we got here is a £71 guitar. So let's have a look and see what £71 buys you. Let's just take a look at some pictures. It's a good looking guitar. You know, you've got the phony abalone around the sound hole there. Nice looking timber everywhere. And, you know, it looks a lot more expensive than, you know, the price tag you're paying for it. So let's take a look at the specs and see what you get. The top is spruce and the back and sides are mahogany, and at this kind of price point you're going to be getting laminated timbers, but that's absolutely fine. It's generally accepted that you know, when you buy a guitar made from laminated wood, then the way it sounds on the day you buy it is the way it's going to sound 20 years later, whereas solid timbers tend to mature. It's generally thought, you know, it's going to improve with age. So what can I tell you about this guitar? Well, as I say, spruce top, mahogany back and sides, mahogany neck. The fretboard, although it looks like rosewood, isn't. It's the roseacre stuff, or roseacer, I'm not sure how it's pronounced. It's basically a thermally treated version of maple. It's one of those timbers that guitar manufacturers started using a couple of years ago when rosewood was put on the endangered species list and, you know, wasn't available for use as easily. The bridge is also made from roseacre as well. Scale length is 650 millimeters and 12, 15, 17, 18, 19, 20 frets. So my experience of owning this guitar is that it's a fantastic guitar for the money. I mean, it's great if you're a beginner, and it's great if, like me, you are an occasional acoustic player. I've used mine on countless recordings just to add a little bit of texture and depth on a track. It's probably not the kind of thing that a player like Tommy Emmanuel would use, but, you know, if you are just, as I say, an occasional acoustic player and you want something that's just going to give you a nice playable acoustic guitar, the playability on this guitar is really good, I gotta tell you. And well, you know, for 71 quid, it's just not worth not having one, is it? Anyway, let's move on to the Yamaha F370. Top on this is spruce, back and sides are NATO. Now, once again, I'm going to work on the assumption that if it was solid timbers, they would be kind of quite proudly telling us that. So I'm going to assume that it's laminated timber once again. Hello, I didn't think that picture wanted to show then. So let's have a look at the spec. As I say, spruce NATO, spruce top NATO, back and sides. The neck is also NATO. You do get a rosewood fretboard on this guitar. It's a 25-inch scale, slightly shorter than the Harley Benton, and you get 20 frets again. Now, I've played countless Yamaha acoustics over the years, and I got to tell you, I've never played a bad one. They always deliver the goods, and they always feel really nice and comfortable to play. So, 150 quid, once upon a time, that would have been considered a cheap price for an acoustic guitar, but sort of Harley Benton have kind of stolen that crown, really, haven't they? 150 quid, it's still really good value for what is going to be, a good workhorse acoustic guitar. Let's move on to the Fender CD-140 SCE. I do wish guitar manufacturers would, just kind of give things model names. I mean, CD-140 SCE, it sounds like something you'd see in a fax machine catalogue, doesn't it? Anyway, what have we got here? We have a solid spruce top, with back and sides made from oven coal, and I'm reliably informed by wooddatabase.com that oven coal is very similar in its tonal properties to rosewood, so there you go. Mahogany neck and a walnut fretboard, not something you see every day. 20 frets on a 643mm scale length. Now, I've played a few of these over the years. This model, I've played 2 or 3, and, many other Fender acoustics. And what I can tell you is that, yes, you do get a big sound coming from this guitar especially. It's because of that, that solid spruce top. That's where you kind of, where you begin to notice the difference. But playability wise, Fender acoustic guitars, I've played some that were absolutely effortless, and I've played some that weren't. So, my advice is, if you're thinking about one of these, don't kind of order it. Just go and try it and buy it from the shop once you've found a good one, because, as I say, the playability I've noticed on Fender acoustic guitars can be a bit patchy. Just my experience. Let me know if you know different. Anyway, let's move on a little bit higher up the price range, getting on for about 600 quid here, the Takamine, I believe it's pronounced, and once again, we have a whole alphanumeric code, don't we, there for the designation of this guitar. At this kind of price, you're starting to get into, solid spruce again, solid spruce top, back and sides, Ziricote. Never heard of it, and I should have checked that out on wooddatabase.com, but I forgot all about it, to be honest with you. Let me know what you know about that timber. The neck is mahogany, the fretboard is oven coal, the bridge is oven coal, 643mm, 20 frets. Now, the reason I chose this guitar to talk about today, as one of the ones I'm talking about, is that one of my students has one. He lives on the other side of the world, and we do lessons via Skype. And I got to tell you that this guitar sounds absolutely amazing, even through a Skype call. So, it's going to deliver the goods. And again, I've played a few Takamines, however it's pronounced, and always beautiful to play. Effortless, well set up, just great guitars. And as I say, if it's going to sound good over a Skype call, then it's got the goods, really, hasn't it? So let's move on to the money no object, lottery win guitar, the original Dreadnought, essentially the Martin D28 Modern Deluxe, or maybe this isn't the original Dreadnought, but Martin, designed the Dreadnought, and as you would expect, everything at this kind of price, 4,400 quid all but, is absolutely exquisite. You get a solid Sitka spruce top, the back and sides East Indian rosewood, and the neck is genuine mahogany. What I mean by that is mahogany has kind of two meanings, sort of. Mahogany is a species of wood, but it's also a term that's used to describe many other species of wood that are very much like mahogany. For instance, sapele often gets just referred to as mahogany. But this is genuine mahogany. You get an ebony fretboard. Let's have a look at some close-up pictures of this. I think it deserves it. Ebony fretboard. I mean, you can see, looking at the pictures there, you got that lovely herringbone purfling around the outside. You can see in close-up where the money has been spent on this. It is an exquisite looking guitar, it has to be said. So you get an ebony fretboard, 20 frets, and obviously at this kind of price, it comes in its own little house like that. This is a beautiful thing. This is the kind of guitar, as I've said, maybe once or twice before, you don't need to spend a lot of money to get a usable guitar. You just don't. But a guitar like this isn't about need, is it? It's like no one needs a Ferrari or an Aston Martin. It's one of those things because it's special, and if you can afford it and you want to treat yourself, you kind of, you just do it that way. It's a little kind of, it's a little present to yourself, a little gift to yourself, or from someone else if you are very, very lucky. Essentially, it's an heirloom piece. This is the kind of thing that's going to get passed down the generations, and, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing, and if you can afford it, then I would say just, it's well done, first of all, if you can afford a guitar like this, but, you're going to love it, no questions asked. So there you go. Those are the guitars in today's lineup of Dreadnoughts, from the lowly 70 quid's worth of Harley Benton to the rather exclusive and exquisite 4.5 grand all but Martin D28. Make of it what you will. Yeah, that Martin is seriously lovely, isn't it? And I'm not really that much of an acoustic player myself, but I found myself drooling over pictures of that one for quite some time. So which one would I have? Well, in a sense, I've already answered that question, because when I needed an acoustic guitar, just, as I say, for occasional use and just for adding a bit of texture onto recordings and stuff, then I bought the Harley Benton, and it's been a good, solid workhorse ever since. If you want to hear what it sounds like, then go and check out a couple of my albums on Spotify, The Whiskey Made Me Do It and Handles for Folks, and you'll hear that guitar all over all of them. In fact, the title track of The Whiskey Made Me Do It is just like an acoustic blues thing that I did just with that Harley Benton. It was mic'd up rather than using the electro plugged in sound, but it doesn't disgrace itself, and it does look, feel and sound like a much more expensive instrument than the 70 quid that it costs. So, if you're just like me, you're just wanting an occasional acoustic to use, just to have one there for those rare occasions when you need it, then the Harley Benton is very definitely for you. But all of those guitars that are in that lineup, I either have personal experience of, or I know people that have got them, apart from the Martin, but we just know that's going to be absolutely fantastic, don't we? And I can highly recommend all of them. So there you have it, folks. Please let me know if you have any suggestions that you feel I missed out. As I say, when I do these videos, it's just guitars that I have experience of, or ones that, as I'm browsing the web and looking at different options, ones that for whatever reason catch my interest and think that's worth a second look. So, as I say, if you have any suggestions, then please leave them in the comments below. And that's pretty much it for today, folks. Hope you've enjoyed the video and found it useful and informative. And if you have, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already done so. And why not give me a like while you're at it? Don't forget the live stream tomorrow, 5 PM UK time. We basically sit round and have a few beers and just talk guitars. What's not to like about that? It's a great way of kicking off the weekend. So I'd love to see many of you there. If you want to support the channel, all the links are downstairs in the description. Thank you in advance if you're thinking about doing that, and thank you very much indeed if you already are. Much appreciated. And with that, I'll bid you all a good day and say thank you for your time. Thank you for watching. Look after yourselves, folks. Stay well, stay safe, and above all, stay sane. Bye for now.